This summer solstice brings the launch of Synchronicity University. So excited about finally presenting you guys with a free, online, fully accessible data bank of astrology classes. You can watch lessons right now at synchronicityuniversity.com and of course my YouTube channel, nadiyashah.com. Hello, fabulous Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of July 2015, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month has a decidedly emotional focus for all of us. Starts on a full moon, ends on a full moon. But these emotional issues, developments, and what it is that is coming to the surface for all of us will be different depending on our sign. For you, the real emotion and passion and more lofty aims that matters of the heart can bring start to actually kick in later in the month. And so this is good. This can be really good for you because while a lot of people might be getting a little bit caught up, you will be able to focus in and zone your energy in on matters that are more practical so that once you do get caught up in that energy, you know that what's essential has been taken care of. So for you, actually, this month marks a very strong financial focus, and it starts right out of the gate with the full moon that happens on the first of the month. And this particular full moon is happening for you in a part of the sky that has to do with what we call other people's money. It has to do with money that comes from grants, loans, bursaries, insurance payments, tax returns, benefits, the type of money that comes in one chunk, commission payments as well. And so it does look like at the beginning of the month, there's a major turning point taking place in matters of whether it's a financial settlement or agreement, but some amount of money coming in that allows you to put a matter to rest. If you've had a long-going case going as far as a financial agreement, or you've been appealing a decision about benefits, this is going to be a time when you hear news. And I gotta say, it looks good, okay? So it looks like there's hope, but at the same time, there's a strong finality to it. So it does suggest to me that it looks good, and yet it's going to be like, you know, this is it. There's no way forward from here. Take it or leave it. That type of energy might be there with this particular full moon. Again, if you've been trying to access benefits or access any sources of funding, this is going to be a time when you hear the news, where you know where it is you're supposed to go, and things move very quickly and come to a conclusion very quickly as well. By the time we get to the middle of the month, the focus changes. It becomes about the money that you earn and the money that you spend. Now, I'm always going to be honest with you, right? You know this, I will always be honest with you. It's quite a mixed bag. There's a lot going on with this new moon. It's a very active sky, an unusually very active sky. And this particular new moon is no exception. This new moon is speaking with all kinds of power players in the sky, which suggests that there's just a lot of activity happening, lots of busyness happening. This particular new moon is happening with Mercury, happening with Mars, and speaking with Pluto, speaking with Uranus. So again, I'm always going to be honest with you. It does look like with this particular new moon, some expenses may seem to just come out of nowhere. There might also be a new source of income that opens up for you. But it seems that you have to think very fast. You have to make a decision very fast. It's going to challenge you. Okay, so it looks like it's outside of your comfort zone, but the promise is there for a fresh start. And it looks like you are going to, with any financial opportunity that comes, you really, it's like all or nothing, jump in or don't at all. And so you're going to have to decide how you're going to move forward with that. But it looks like things move very, very quickly, and things could turn around very quickly as well. So when I see something like this, just be a little mindful. I like it that your ruling planet is strong, is out of shadow, is direct. I absolutely love that. But just the fact that we do have you sort of, it's almost as if all of a sudden you are being, you know, shocked awake, if you will. And so this does suggest to me that you might be thinking that the job is one thing, but it ends up being much more high pressure, high stakes type of environment than you previously realized. There might even be some aggressiveness in the environment. Now, some people like that, but you just want to be mindful if that's something that you're into or not. So there might be sort of an aggressive edge to the type of work environment or the type of work even that you're doing. For example, I think about how, aggressive selling tactics. Well, I just thought of that immediately when I saw the sky, that it might be you're going in and you're thinking, oh, great, I'm going to have a chance to share this. And then you get there and it's like high pressure, aggressive selling is what they're encouraging you to do. So you're going to have to decide if that's something that works for you or not. Again, there's also the expenses factor associated with this part of the sky. So it could be also that your expenses and expense comes up. Now, it does look like, what I really like is when there's a lot of activity in this part of the sky, expenses might come up, but the activity suggests that you are able to meet it. So the money you need is going to be there. But just be mindful as you walk this and strive to stay connected to what really matters. Because if you do that, then you'll calm this energy very much. Because of course, it isn't about, the numbers, right? If you strive to stay connected to what matters, what's stable in your life, what doesn't feel like it's, rising and falling, then you will find yourself that much better able to deal with anything else that appears for you. And ultimately, as my mom likes to say, well, the bill is there because you can pay it. That's why it shows up. So also remember that actually this is a symbol of the abundance that you have. By the time we get to the end of the month, a second full moon happens, and this full moon is happening in a fellow air sign for you. This is great because this suggests to me that it feels like you are re-entering your element in some key way. And by the time we get you there, the energy shifts. It becomes a lot more comfortable. It becomes less about you needing necessarily to think about money and paying bills and meeting bills and having the talks, but rather you start thinking a little bit more loftier. You start thinking, have I done the things I need to do so that I can manifest bigger things further down the road, so that I can achieve my goals further down the road? This is going to be a time when some of you hear about matters of higher education. I actually think, as I looked at this, that for some of you out there, I actually think that you might, if you got rejected before, and you thought, okay, now I'm not going to my first choice school, or I'm not going to school at all. This could be a time when you get, if you're on the waiting list, this could be a time when that actually pays off. And you get a call that says, you know what, you've been accepted, it's all good. And so this could be a time of a very nice surprise around matters of education. Also, if you were appealing a decision where it came to a certain grade that you got, this could also be a time when you hear some good news as well. Also, where it comes to matters of immigration and matters of citizenship as well, this can be a time when developments take place and they look to be really good all around. Now, it does look like, I do think if it's a matter of citizenship, immigration, you might get some news or you might get a letter that ends up saying, okay, everything's good, but now you got to do this and now you got to do that. And so there's an element there of agreements, of having to have an interview, very strongly indicated with this, and paperwork as well. So that might actually be coming through for you, but it looks like overall you're being empowered. There's a lightness and a happiness around this particular full moon. Also, this has to do with travel. And this could also be a time when you decide to do what you need to do to actually get out and know more of the world, take on an adventure of sorts that brings you to a greater sense of happiness and just allows you to have even more experiences that you will treasure for a long time, yes, but also inform your place in the world. What I love about this month for you is that you are taking care of business. You really are. And this is good. There are times that require you to do that. And there are times when to do that is actually really empowering. And by doing so, you will allow yourself to take care of what needs to be taken care of at the right time, so that eventually, once everybody around you is really getting caught up in matters of heart, you can join along right with them.